Hey everyone. So I was on a nature walk this morning, which I have been trying to incorporate more into my life because I've always been hiding inside. I mean, I go outside, but I've always been like, work from home, don't be around other people, because when I'm around other people, I get pissed off because of, the way they are. And I've been recently learning more about that. Well, it's not that recent anymore. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. But this, like I mentioned in my other video, this time around, it's during 2020 because the energy is so high because we've shifted into the 5D New Earth template where we're going to be releasing a lot more and having lighter bodies. It has been it's become clear to me of what is actually going on. But I came on to talk to you guys about why we're all here. And that's something that I was listening to or, connecting with while I was on my nature walk today. And I wanted to let you guys know because I know a lot of people are always looking for their life purpose, right? What's my life purpose? Why did I come here? What am I doing? And what the answer to that for everybody is that you're already doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're here on this experience on Earth to have a journey to ascension. And what ascension means is just that you're allowing more light into your body and your consciousness starts to change, to shift, to be more aware. You start to actually have a more activated light being inside you, which is the light being that's taking over your body. Physical form without a light being is not going to function. So part of our ascension process is to be more aware, to be more conscious, to be of service. It's to have more light in our bodies without all the dense energy, because we're already dense human beings. Our bodies have to have a lot of energy, dense energy, to keep us in this gravitational form. But along with that is what is actually connecting to our body, and that's our higher self, our light being. I'm not going to go so much into that portion. It's just the whole idea of incarnation. I know a lot of people, they kind of dabble here and there. They don't really know what it is. And I felt like, I've always had this information in the back of my head. I just kind of knew that we were, light beings on Earth and we were here for a reason. And part of that reason, like I mentioned earlier, is because we are in this experiment, having this journey to ascend, and while you're going through all these experiences, and while you're actually able to have these challenges, go through these challenges, learn certain life lessons, because all of these challenges are teaching us a particular life lesson. And there's actually several life lessons that we're here to learn. It's not just, I got to love more, because you know what? I've been on this journey to increase my love and to change the way I feel and to stop feeling so angry and, confused and depressed and like not wanting to be here. It's all transcending into love, of course, but you've got to peel the layers. And that's part of this journey. It's to be here on this earth, have the experiences that we're having, and be able to ascend into these higher dimensional beings that we are actually when we're not in a physical body, and allow our bodies to move along in this higher frequency as well. So this is the whole experiment, to see how we can shift consciousnesses and how we can be able to bring our bodies along on this journey with us. The body was made in such an intricate way. If you really delve deeper into the meridians and, all the organs and the chakras and how they're all connected and how they actually make us live and keep us in balance, you will be so, it's mind boggling. You will be so shocked because honestly, so much, there's so much information about it that it's just, it's not, it's not something you need to worry about, but it's just so much information that I like to constantly dabble into, learn more about these things. But the truth of the matter is, you can look into it, but you already have all this information inside of you. You've lived tons of lifetimes, whether on Earth or different worlds or universes or whatever it is. You've been experiencing different lifetimes. You've been experiencing so many different things throughout your life. And this lifetime right now is the most crucial because we are going back into the 5D consciousness. We are ascending much faster now, which means that we're getting all our abilities back. We're going to be able to teleport. We're going to be able to telepathically speak to each other. We're going to be able to, just like kind of swim in the quantum field and travel from A to B much quicker than what we used to. I know it sounds like really crazy right now because we're all kind of like stuck in this, what we like to call the 3D matrix where, society and everybody else and whatever we were taught is constantly teaching us to be stuck in emotions and mental bodies, to be stuck in our emotional and mental bodies, to be more of this disconnected person. But now it's time to learn to get out of that. And that's part of the journey. You get sucked in, you're going through all the stuff, you have all these challenges and experiences, but then there's the time where we move into a different field. Now it's time for us to continue our path and expand. And then as you go through this experience, you are going to start getting the calling to be of service in whichever way you feel it feeds your soul. That's what alignment is. It feeds your soul. It makes you completely happy. It's like something you wake up feeling so excited to do and something that you'll just look forward to every single day because you are helping other people. You are there to help shed light on certain situations. You are there to guide people, to empower people, to heal people. So many different reasons of why, you particularly need to be here or chose to be here at this particular time. And it's time for you to stop searching. Stop going on this rampage to search and be stuck into this world, the mind chatter world of not feeling like you understand what life is about, and just be present. Be present. Being present actually just means not worrying. And I know from experience that is the hardest thing that you can do when you are trapped in this 3D matrix, when you are trapped in these feelings of constantly not knowing how you're going to make it to the next day or what it's going to be like, or, how you can get out of your financial situation, or, whatever situation you're going through, whether you hate your job, which I have been through, whether you've gone through terrible relationships, which I have been through. I have been through every single freaking thing. I'm not going to say every single thing because that's not accurate. But there's been so many challenges that I have gone through, even starting in utero. So I completely understand that we could be walking around feeling anxious and worried and unhappy and, maybe depressed about where our life is going. But I hope that I can give you some inspiration that we are all guided, and this is just part of our journey. And if you are searching, then great. Just try to be present. Just try to be present when you're, going outside and talking to people, or instead of looking down, just look up and smile. Like, be present to hear the birds chirping or the crickets if you're out at night, whatever it is. Just be alive in the moment of where you are. And while that has been a big challenge for me, I am incorporating it in my life because I've seen from the results that I have created in my life that without being present, I was not fulfilling any happiness in my life. And I've noticed that even while doing meditative practice, being in nature, doing all these things, it feels amazing, and I feel more alive. I have a much more flowing day. Which really just means that I'm going more with the flow instead of planning every part of my day of what I'm going to do. If things just happen to change, instead of getting upset about it or feeling like, oh my God, I have to work. Oh my God, I have to get things done. I can't just go out and do X, Y, and Z because I had this plan. I just go with the flow and I let it just unfold the way it's supposed to unfold, or the way it was meant to unfold for me. I'm following the tips that I'm getting, the downloads that I'm getting, whatever I hear, I try to act on now. And that was a really big challenge for me because for the longest time, I've always felt like I needed to have a strategy. I needed to have a plan. I needed to work around, and control whatever's going to happen. And I want to mention, as I mentioned earlier, that life lessons really, there are life lessons. And when I found out about it a couple of years ago, I thought, wow, that's so great. Well, now what do we do? Excuse me. What do? We have, my journey over the last several years have just really been me unfolding what these life lessons look like. And as I brought awareness to situations that have happened in my life or is currently happening, my perspective has changed. I'm looking at it now with a different set of eyes, and I hear the voices in my head trying to break it down. I have the ego voice is like saying all these judgmental or negative things, but then the higher self voice starts talking, and it feels different because it's a calmer voice. It's not as aggressive. It can get aggressive, but not in a judgmental way. And it just lets me see things differently, and it just counteracts the other voice. And a lot of people, when I mentioned this before, have thought I was just nuts because I was always talking about hearing voices in their head. And when I say voices in your head, I don't mean like a crazy, dark voice or a different voice than yours. You hear this mind chatter. You hear the dialogue going on in your head because that's a normal thing that happens to everyone, whether you want to admit it or not. You've seen like commercials where they have the devil sitting on one side of the person and the angel sitting on the other side of the person, right? And they're just like telling this person what to do. One is saying, do something bad, and the other one is saying, oh no, love the person. And of course, we always follow the voice that has been telling us to do the bad thing, because that's the voice that has been the strongest for us. That's the voice that has been guiding us when we were children, because we formed this type of defense mechanism for ourselves as we got attached into this 3D matrix. And now we're starting to hear more of the angelic voice, the higher self, the voice that is guiding us to do something different. And that's why going with the flow and being present is important, because you allow
your higher self to speak to you. You allow guidance from a higher realm that is allowing you to take things slowly, to do things that are different, to go against the grain. Going against the grain is a whole different story, and that's not something I'm going to go into right now, but it is definitely all part of unfolding and uncovering life lessons. And while these life lessons, like I mentioned, some people will be dealing with 3 or 4, and some people may be dealing with all of them. But the most important part is bringing awareness to what these lessons are. And they're universal lessons, which means that everybody will be going through these lessons. Everybody will have to learn some part of the lesson. And it's not obvious to us because it's never going to be that obvious. We're going to have to go through events and challenges and quote unquote situations, whichever way you want to label them, good or bad. We're all going to go through these challenges because that is just part of this journey. And that's why I'm so dedicated to talking to everyone about these life lessons, to bring attention to these life lessons so that you can help yourself by categorizing what each situation that you've gone through and are currently going through under what life lesson they are. When you categorize which life lesson it is, you can bring awareness and change your perspective to when you have it again. And mind you, something that is really, really important for you to know is that these life lessons, they're not just going to show up one day and expect that you're going to get it. We constantly get different events and different situations and different X, Y, and Z until we learn what the true nature of that lesson is. And it's not what we think. It's not, oh, I learned my lesson not to hang out with people like that. Or I learned my lesson and I'm going to change my route to do something different now. Whatever bullshit lesson, yeah, that's a small little thing. But there are major life lessons that these situations are trying to show us. It's not trying to hurt us. It's not trying to teach us a lesson. We're not on earth so that we could suffer. We're here to create heaven on earth. We're here to create something so beautiful, something so amazing all together. That's why this journey, that's what our purpose is. That's why this journey can become so daunting sometimes, because we are not aware of what is behind the other door. We're not aware. And my goal is to help bring that awareness to you so that going forward, when you start having a situation that falls under whatever the life lesson is, you can actually say, all right, I see what this is. I understand. Now let me just sit here and be present with the feelings that I'm getting around this and try to see if there's a different perspective that I can try to understand. And I'll give you an example. Judgment is one of the biggest lessons. And it's been something I dealt with since I was a child. And with judgment, and I'm sure a lot of people, all of us, have dealt with judgment, either being judged or judging others. But I was dealing with judgment since I was a child. I was bullied in school because I didn't look like everybody else. I didn't dress like everybody else. I don't even remember what else happened. I think I didn't even like hanging out with kids at that age. I think I liked hanging out more with adults than with kids. I don't remember why, but I was constantly being judged because I wasn't like everybody else. And that carried along with me throughout my life and projected in different ways because I felt now I'm judging other people. And as I've been going through this unfolding process of realizing how judgment was really holding me back, every time when I see someone that I used to judge, and even right before I can get or allow that ego to talk and say something about, something in a judgmental tone, I just reflect first to see what I'm about to say that might be inside of me. Because when you are judging other people, you are also, there is something inside of you that you don't like, or that other people never liked, that you never accepted of yourself. It's such a intricate thing, but judgment plays a huge, huge factor in your life. So when you are judging other people, look internally first. See, what is it about this person you feel is bothering you inside yourself? It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. Like, let's say if you're judging someone by their looks, doesn't necessarily mean that you are judging your looks the same way you are judging theirs. For example, hair. If you're judging someone's hairstyle, right, you don't know what the story is. You don't know why they have that hairstyle. You don't know what they were doing. You don't know what the story behind their actions are. And it's not for you to know. It's not for you to understand. It's for them. It's part of their story. You just accept for whatever they're doing because it doesn't have any power over you. And just look internally. What is it about their hair, for example, is bothering you internally? Do you not like your hair? Do you not like your face? Do you not like your body? Like, you really have to dig deep. And this is the work that a lot of people really try to escape. And I can tell you, I can vouch for that because I was one of the people, myself. It was hard for me to look inside and say, yep, this is what I think of myself. Yep, this is what I see. Yep. And to accept myself because I was judged for such a long time. And then I took that and I started judging other people. So what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of different, there are 7 major of the life lessons, but a lot of different events that will fall under these categories. And when you bring awareness to what they are and what certain situations that fall under these categories, how can you shift that so that you can essentially get back into being the goddess that you are? How can you get back to that point where you don't allow anybody to take the power away from you, where you don't allow any circumstance in your life to take the power away from you, because you know you have the information and the truth and the understanding of who you are and what this life and game is all about. And you have the power within yourself to really make that shift, to transcend, not just transform, but to transcend, to really ignite these changes and allow it to take over. So I'm going to stop there, and I want to thank you guys for listening. Again, I know that I end up talking about so many different things, and it's because I've been bottling up everything that I want to say for the longest time, and now that I really, really feel inspired to go out there, I just want to thank you for listening and encourage you to either private message me or comment and let me know if there's something you want me to delve deeper into, because I will be breaking up the videos or the topics in the videos and talking about things separately. But if there's something you want to hear about a little bit more in length, I would love to hear your feedback and be able to offer that to you. I'm trying right now to get as much information out there to people because for the longest time I was confused. I was confused with so many different spiritual terms. Like, I knew the meaning deep down inside, but because I know I am aware that my mental body is so strong, I feel like because I need to feed the mental body, I just need to understand it further to activate other parts and other or more information that I already know to come through. So if that's the way you are, then that's not a problem. I want to offer you as much information as I can. I want to be able to service you guys so that you can get through this ascension process, so that you can be able to get to your next level and really be able to maneuver with the energy and not fight against it. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to the next time that I get to share more information. Bye.